No one touched him. No one knew whether to mourn him, because he never died. Marcus Lee is still there, without a soul, without time. The perfect body trapped. A cell prevents it. A cell that doesn't know how to stop. The first corpse that did not die was mourned in silence. His name was Marcus Lee. No one cried, no one prayed, no one knew what to do with him. He still lies in an observation capsule, with his eyes closed and his heart beating at a perfect rhythm. He was declared clinically dead on 2050,312. Since then, his body remains intact, without decay, without brain electrical pulse, without a soul, perhaps, but alive. Thus began the rumor, not of a resurrection, but of something older, more primitive, more exact. Science did not celebrate the discovery. It couldn't, because it didn't understand it. It all started with a disease, one of the cruelest. Huntington's, a genetic error that turns the human body into a liquid prison, where thoughts dissolve and muscles become shadows. A medical promise guided the project in a secret biomedical research center in Bethesda, Maryland. The goal? To cure the incurable, reconnect dead neurons, return dignity to those who had lost it among spasms, saliva, and oblivion. The basis of the experiment was biological, not divine, or so they thought. A stem cell was modified to accelerate the regeneration of nervous system tissues. It was inserted into mice, then into primates. The results were astonishing. Total recovery of motor functions, reversal of brain damage, complete regeneration of the hippocampus, and then it mutated. An imperceptible variation in the RNA chain. An accident, a different cell, a miracle, if one still believed in that. The scientists did not know when it happened. They only noticed that suddenly, the cell did not need instructions. It detected the damage before the sensors, healed before the pain. It only followed a command that no one gave it. Repair, regenerate, remain. At first they used it on terminal humans, people without hope. One by one they returned from the edge of the abyss. A man with a brain shattered by a tumor spoke as if nothing had happened. A young woman who had been intubated for 2 months opened her eyes. And not only did he remember his name, he remembered everything. And then, something even harder to explain. The body did not age. Damaged cells were replaced. Internal scars were erased. The natural wear of the human body simply stopped. But it was not a regression. It was not artificial youth. It was something else. The cell did not rejuvenate. It only preserved. The body remained frozen in the most stable and functional version it had at the time of receiving it. If a patient was 47 years old at the time of the intervention, they continued to look like someone who was 47. But they did not get tired, did not get sick, did not deteriorate. It was as if the body had been sealed in its last healthy form. It did not go back in time. It just stopped moving towards frailty. The fear did not come from the maintenance. It came from what happened afterward. A patient was declared clinically dead, without breathing, without brain activity, but his body remained warm, functional, as if time did not move within him. After 4 days, his vital signs returned without any intervention, as if the cell could not accept that there was something called an end. The press called it the Cell of God. The scientists avoided the name, but none denied it. It was not immortality, they said, it was suspension of entropy. A cell that did not allow the degradation of the biological system. as if the human body had been redesigned to never break. A new Adam without sin. What followed was not a media explosion, but a sudden cancellation. The project was sealed, the laboratories emptied. The government intervened. The global medical community was silenced under biological security protocols, but the rumor had already escaped. And the rumor did what rumors do. It mutated into fear, because no one knew how to stop it. The cell, once inside the body, replicated elegantly. It did not invade, it did not destroy, but it also did not obey limits. A woman with severe burns was treated with the cell. Her skin regenerated in days, but so did an old fracture that had healed poorly 30 years ago. Then, the bone structure reconfigured to achieve perfect symmetry. The eyes corrected their myopia without any intervention. It was as if the body became an ideal of itself, a work in constant restoration. The problem was not the result, it was the impossibility of stopping the process. The cell had no switch, only one purpose: to continue. In clandestine areas of the world, the first carriers began to appear, modified people. They did not age, did not bleed, did not break. They became objects of worship, then targets for hunting. Some hid, others exposed themselves. They charged to show the impossible. A bullet scar that disappeared in front of the camera. A mother who survived an accident without visible after effects. The most disturbing thing was that they could no longer be considered patients. They were biological structures in a permanent state of repair. Humanity, accustomed to fearing death, did not know how to fear eternity. Governments responded with isolation protocols. The regenerated were considered uncontrollable biological agents. Laws were enacted, bodies were confiscated, but no way was found to reverse the process or isolate the cell, because it was no longer a cell, it was a presence, an order inscribed in matter. Some began to call it the second breath. A new apocalypse, not of destruction, but of permanence. It was not the end of the world, but the end of the wound. And without a wound, there is no history. Without an end, there is no faith. Religion slowly collapsed, because if the body no longer suffered, no one knew how to keep believing. The tragedy was replaced by an unbearable calm. A humanity without pain, without farewells, without scars, without redemption. Decades later, some are still alive. Not by will, but by the inability to stop being so. They are bodies without deterioration, trapped in a spiral of eternal repair. They do not get sick, they do not deform, but they are tired as a planet spinning without reason. One of them wrote a phrase: "The soul needs scars to know it existed." What happened in 20,500,312 was not a miracle. It was a biological error, a mistake, a microscopic crack in the language of life. A tear was not invented, a sentence was created, a body without end, an organic machine of itself, an eternity without purpose. We did not build God, but perhaps, unintentionally, we awakened it.